The company owned by Asia's richest man, Gautam Adani, has issued a detailed rebuttal of allegations of wrongdoing by short seller Hindenburg Research. In a document which runs to more than 400 pages, Adani Group says a report is a calculated attack on India. Hindenburg said Adani failed to specifically answer 62 out of 88 questions. Detailed in its report, Adani Group, an Indian conglomerate, had more than 50 billion wiped off its stock market value last month. It also said that it had complied with all local laws and had made the necessary regulatory disclosures. All transactions entered into by us, which entitle who qualify as related parties under Indian laws and accounting standards have been duly disclosed by us. Adani Group said in a 413-page document issued last month. It went on to accuse the Hindenburg report of being intended to enable the US-based short seller to book gains without citing evidence. This rife with conflict of interest and intended only to create a false market in securities to enable Hindenburg, and admitted short seller to book massive financial gain through wrongful means at the cost of countless investors. It added, short selling is when someone bets against a company's share price in the expectation that it will fall. In response, Hindenburg said, to be clear, we believe India is a vibrant democracy and an emerging superpower with an exciting future. We also believe India's future is being held back by the Adani Group, which has trapped itself in the Indian flag while systematically looting the nation. So the important thing, who's behind Adani? We can clearly assure you that Mr. Narendra Modi ji is behind him and his government, because the evidence shows that Mr. Narendra Modi ji was flown with Adani right after he won his election. Right from there, seemingly, Adani growth was unimaginable. All the banks gave him a huge loan, an amount he can able to pay back. The Adani Group has taken debt from various banks and financial institutions, both in India and internationally. Some of the major lenders to the Adani Group: State Bank of India, Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Punjab National Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, and few of foreign countries' bank. These banks have provided loans and credit facilities to Adani Group for various purposes such as project financing, working capital requirements, and acquisition, among others. And one more thing that I want to mention here is a common man from Bihar got a loan from Mahindra Finance and he couldn't pay it back on time. What they did was the finance company killed his daughter with a tractor. This is a democratic country, my friends. If you know how to cheat, you can lead. And if you don't know, the systems will kill you. That's what is happening, is going on our nation. Based on Adani's money launderings and his scam, so-called investors lost 90,000 crores. Who gave Adani the key for him to adapt government funds and investments? The Indian government has various policies and schemes that provide funding and investment opportunities for business in various sectors. Adani Group, being a major player in many of these sectors, has been able to access these opportunities. The group has also participated public-private partnership projects where it has partnered with the government to develop infrastructure projects. Don't you feel that's awesome? Well, the deal was done based on 90% of electoral bond to the ruling party. Association for the Democratic Reforms recently filed an application in the court seeking a stay on the electoral bond scheme. It said that amendments carried out in the relevant acts have opened the floodgates to ultimate corporate donation to political parties and anonymous financing by Indian as well as foreign companies, which can have serious repercussions on Indian democracy. How much debt does Adani has in India? According to important people's informations, 36,000 crores from LIC, 22,000 crore from State Bank of India, and a total of public sector banks gave Adani around 80,000 crores. Well, who is the most indebted person in India? Mr. Adani is India's most indebted person and a willful defaulter. And one more thing that we should discuss is, according to this topic, how much is India's debt per person? Between 2014 and 2023, the total debt has gone up from 55 lakh crore to 155 lakh crore. Why has the per capita debt in the country increased from 43,000 rupees to 1,09,000 rupee ever since the Modi government took over? This means per capita debt has grown by 2.5 times. So this question goes to Indian Financial Minister Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman. Now is the time that I should tell a story about a man who sold most of his properties and got asylum in a foreign country. He is none other than Mr. Vijay Malaya, was an Indian businessman and former politician who was the chairman of United Breweries Group, a conglomerate with interest in brewing, aviation and real estate. Malaya became widely known in India and internationally due to his high-profile lifestyle, business ventures and legal troubles. In 2012, Malaya's Kingfisher airline, which he founded in 2005, faced financial difficulties and was unable to pay its debt to banks and employees. The airline was eventually grounded and Malaya was declared a willful defaulter by Indian banks. Malaya left India in 2016 and moved to the UK, where he has been fighting extraditions to India to face charges of fraud and money laundering. So you may think that, so why I said about Malaya's story? I want to compare his story with Mr. Adani. Will Modi ji do what he did with Malaya? That's an honest question, right? How was the Indian nation's economy affected by Adani's scam and money laundering? Since 1 lakh crore has been lost to the Indian government by Adani's scam, and all that is 1% of Indian economy. So what is the conclusion for Adani's scam? Will this government ask Adani to pay off all his debt immediately? If they deny, will they going to take over Adani's properties? Who must answer to this question? Who must answer to the common people of India? The person could be Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman has to answer this question. SEBI and Income Tax Department must have to file the case against Adani. But still they are figuring out what will happen to Indian democracy if we file the case against an innocent person like Adani. That's why today the Supreme Court has declared an order to SEBI to investigate Adani's files. Let's see what they will do to this so-called innocent man, Mr. Adani, a man who did the biggest scam in Indian history. And thank you so much for watching my video, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe and share this video. I want let this video to be seen by every one of the Indian nations. Everyone.